Let's delve into another faction of your life outside of movies. Music plays a big part in your life, and you still play with your jazz band, or the Eddie Davis Jazz Band at the Carlisle here in New York on Monday nights. And you're about to embark on a tour of Europe in July, early July. There are a number of cities that you're hitting. Now, you've done this before. When you and the Eddie Davis Jazz Band tour Europe or even make stops in the United States, is it your suggestion, let's do this, or does somebody come to you and say, look, you have some downtime here, how do you want to fill it, or what inspires these tours?
Well, what happened was I always was interested in New Orleans jazz, but authentic New Orleans jazz. You know, if you hear the wrong kind of New Orleans jazz, you frame it in your mind as what people call Dixieland, and you think of peanut music with straw hats and striped jackets, but it isn't. There's a real New Orleans music that originated in New Orleans, very authentic, very beautiful, but very special. You know, I'm interested in it. Most people don't have the slightest interest in the same way that I am not interested in Gregorian chants. People are not interested in the kind of music that interests me. It's a very special kind of thing, very authentic and very beautiful. So I started playing that kind of music on the clarinet strictly for fun. I'm a terrible musician, but I do it for fun. And we did it weekends.
I would debate you on that too.
We do it in the houses, in our living room. And then the guy said, why don't we do this in front of people instead of always sitting in a circle in the living room doing it for each other? Let's go do it, you know, for people and with an audience out there. I didn't care about that. I had years of being in front of people as a stand-up comic, and I didn't need to go play for people, but they wanted to, so I said, fine. So we played for people, and then somebody said, you know, why don't we go on a tour? And I said, nobody will come, but I was wrong. They turned out in abundance, and opera houses and huge auditoriums all over Europe to hear us. Now, the truth of the matter is, this is not false modesty, I'm a terrible musician. I don't have a good ear, I don't have good rhythm, I have great enthusiasm, great affection. And the people that come, the guys in the band are great, and I hide in them. The people that come because they see me in the movies. They've seen me in the movies, and they don't know the first thing about New Orleans music. They just hear that I'm there, and they want to come and say hello from the movies. I could be playing at my best. I'm not very good, and I'm rarely at my best. But it doesn't matter. They have a different kind of experience. It's like years ago, you know, John L. Sullivan, the first heavyweight champion, used to go around acting in plays, and people would come to plays, and he was a terrible actor. He was a great boxer, but a terrible actor. But they'd come and turn out en masse to see him, not for the actor he was, but for the hero he was in the ring. Me, they come to see because they liked Annie Hall, they liked my movies. But if I had to make a living as a clarinet player, I would be dead. But I'm not dead because I have this extra thing. So it's a crime that these great musicians, there are some great musicians out there who can't get an audience as big as I get, when in fact they're serious and artists and brilliant geniuses, but I get a bigger audience, you know, on the cheap because they like my movies, or they've seen my movies and they want to see me. So we play, and I give it my all. I mean, I practice every day, and I try and stay authentic and uncompromising. We don't play any, you know, crowd-pleasing stuff. We don't, you know, get out there and play when the Saints go marching in, and, you know, we play blues, hymns, ragtime, whorehouse music, stuff that was authentically New Orleans, and we play it in the New Orleans style as best we can. And so I don't feel that I'm a sellout. I'm doing the best I can. Unfortunately, that best, you know, is, you know, at best mediocre, at best.
But there is something about that kind of New Orleans jazz music that is so upbeat in a way. I mean, I've been to a number of your concerts at the Carlisle and when you've toured, And even if you go in not knowing much about that kind of music, taking your estimation of your own abilities aside, just the music that comes out of that band, you really do walk out just feeling good because
well,
it's
it's lively, it's
energizing.
enervating. You know, it's blues. There's a lot of ragtime music and marches and hymns, and the tunes are likable and they're played with enthusiasm. And the guys are good. The guys in the band are good. I mean, they you know, are not. Some of them are professional musicians, and a couple of them are not professional musicians, but could be if they chose to. I could not be, but I'm full of enthusiasm and full of, you know, energy, and you know, and I keep up my end of the bargain. But you know, and you're right. The audience enjoys it. I mean, if you come in to a concert, you know, what it's about an hour and a half or something, and you've had it for the rest of your life. You've seen me, and you've heard the music, and the music is lively and entertaining and authentic. You're hearing good blues and good ragtime and good hymns and authentic tunes, Jelly Roll Morton, King Oliver tunes, Bunk Johnson. You're hearing good music from that point of view. But that's it. My guess is that you'll never come to another concert. That will have satiated your interest, and you will have enjoyed it. But you won't be champing at the bit to come and hear me again.
Despite the fact that people do come again and again. Let me, I'm told we need to wrap it up, so let me ask you in summation. You and I are probably among the last people who read a newspaper every day. I read it at breakfast and lunch.
Yeah,
Everyone else is on their
Me
iPads,
too.
right? But either way, we're getting, you know, the daily reports of this sort of surrealistic narrative coming out of Washington, D.C. So let's just say hypothetically that the world doesn't get it together, and God forbid somebody pushes the wrong button, and we get news that we've got 5 minutes left. You're 81 now. You're very good 81, by the way.
You know,
My family, if we make it to 80, it's not a pretty picture. So this
it's
is
all luck. It's all
yeah,
luck.
and genes. I know.
I mean, I lived in an apartment house in New York where guys 65 years old would come on the elevator with walkers, and my father was 90 and he'd come bouncing on, but just the opposite happens. Then you know, it's pure luck. We could conclude this conversation. I could not get up from this chair, and there would be an anecdote about me dying. You know, you can go like that. So, you know, what can you say about that? You just have to close your eyes and go forward.
All right. So at 81, you got a few minutes to review your life. What have you learned? What do you make of the past 81 years? Have you come away with any sort of wisdom or any summation about what we're all doing here and what the point
wisdom?
is? Yeah.
I figured making the same film, same way. I would say, if I had to say any wisdom, I would say don't ever order the guacamole special in a Polish restaurant. I think I've learned that over the years. That's really the only thing I could teach my kids or impart of any value to anybody.
I'll take it. I'll remember that, and so will the 6 people who are still with us. Well, this wasn't terribly painful, was it? I mean, you got through it. You got through your
Only
first
for the people listening.
Facebook experience. All right, so join us again next week on Woody Allen's Facebook page. Thanks for doing this, although I had nothing to do with it, so I'm thanking you on behalf of the people who talked you into it. And I got through about 10% of what I wanted to cover, and there are many, many questions that came in we didn't
I
get
talk
to.
too much, right?
You talked just the right amount,
no
just we had
questions.
too little time. But so who knows? Maybe you'll be talked into doing this again. Maybe hell will freeze over. We'll see. Anyway, thank you everybody who joined us for this, and this will be archived. You can continue to, if you did miss it. Well, if you did miss it, you wouldn't be hearing me. Anyway, tell your friends.
If you archive it, they'll have a chance to miss it again.
To miss it again, yes. You can miss it as many times as you want over years and years. Anyway, Bob Whitey and Woody Allen signing off. Thank you.